And I also what finally motivated me was when Mandela was inaugurated, there was an article in the New York Times by a very well-known journalist called Anthony Lewis. And he had a paragraph of all the Americans who had contributed to the anti-apartheid movement. And he had a paragraph on Robert Kennedy's visit, which is exactly what I had thought about for many, many years. So then I just got very inspired and I began to talk to Americans, and many of them, including those who visited, who supported Senator Kennedy, they immediately been to South Africa, but they had no details. And then I came to South Africa and I found that people across the spectrum remembered the visit. And then I, began to do the research and kept plugging along. And that was basically how I got to do the film.
And this great man from the United States insists with the South African government, which was unwilling to let him visit my father, by the way. They just wouldn't countenance that. But he went anyway to Groutville and visited. So there was great excitement in Groutville on that particular day.
In 1964, a number of leading members of NUSAS had been arrested and were later convicted of having been involved in acts of sabotage in the African resistance movement. And it's at that time that Forster, who was at the height of his power at the time, described NUSAS as a cancer in the life of South Africa, and that he was determined to crush it. So what Robertson said was that we need to take the initiative. We need something that's going to bring attention back on us in a positive sense. And he said, why don't we invite Kennedy? It's going to get an enormous amount of publicity. Of course he'll say no, but nonetheless it'll be terrific publicity. Well, to our surprise, he accepted and he came.
Indeed, I covered that visit, but I covered mostly the Johannesburg and Soweto part. I didn't come to Durban, I didn't go to Cape Town. But from what I covered, the footage was so huge that when Kennedy passed on, I put up a very powerful exhibition that went around South African universities